Hey y'all, it is I, Kay, the stenographer of the Queen's Court Report. I don't care that TS has decided to pick up this typewriter and start typing things out. I'm still the stenographer. I've been the stenographer, and that's who I will remain. Trying to take my job. The nerve. The gall. Hold on. My mama texting me. Let's see now. Let me find my notes. But, girl, keep in mind that I have been and will be the stenographer. Kaya, first off, before I even get into the show, first thing I noticed was Kaya's beat face. Mama was painted last evening. And they gave that credit to, Jesus, it is hot in this car, Lord. They gave that credit to their sponsor. I can't remember. My Crayon Box, I think is what the name of the sponsor was. Oh, my water done flew over yonder. Listen, I don't know if they make foundation or anything like that, but Mama looked all right. She looked great. So they went into the Grammys. They started talking fashion. I was at work with my good girlfriend, Alex. Hey, Alex, if you're watching. I was at work, and we were just, fool-la-lying or whatever. And why is my mama calling me, girl? Hold on. Hello? Hello?
Hey, pretty girl.
Hey. As much as I love my mother, she really throws off my groove. So, I was at work, and, girl, I'm completely... Me and Alex at work. The Grammys were beginning or whatever, and the fashions came out. First thing I saw was Cardi B's dress, and we both agreed that it was ugly. And Alex even said that it looked like a coffee filter. And the Queen's Court, second to that emotion, brought out some coffee filters and did a little skit. Leandria Johnson was brought up as well. Her outfits were ugly also. She had a pre-Grammy outfit that was ugly and a Grammy outfit that was ugly. The pre-Grammy outfit was worse, but they both didn't bless me. And Tina Campbell, girl, I was really finna say something, but I'm gonna keep that to myself. It was gonna be so nasty and so rude, but it's a no. Assad was still out there. I saw him, bless Assad. I was looking at that picture of Assad and DJ Khaled, and honestly, what I enjoy about following celebrities and their children is that we don't see them for a time, and then we do see them and they've grown. We see Assad so often that it's like, girl, he looked the same as he did last week at the BET Award. Like, I would like to not see him and then say, oh my goodness, is that Assad? He has grown so much. Look at him. Wow. But I don't get the opportunity to do that because every time I see him, he looked the same. I can't remember the boy growing because he looks the same all the time. Because I see him all the time. It just don't make no sense. Like, when I swing over to the church, I missed 2 Sundays, swang by, and the kids done grown 50 feet. And I'm like, what in the world? I don't have that opportunity with Assad. It's draining me. Anyway, they said something that I also said, which was Blue Ivy's feet are long than a mug. I looked at the picture and I said, okay, look at the Carters, and then my eyes immediately went down to that baby's feet. I said, she wears a size 9, and she's not 9 years old. That baby got long feet. But I bet them feet were made for dancing. I bet they were. Anyway, Miss Jackson. We're moving on to Miss Jackson. I'm going to get over here because he's getting on my nerves. I'm caught. Oh, Lord. Oh, stay with it. Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, how many people can be on their phone, be driving, be tangled up in a cord, and go over a train track hill? Not many. I did it, though, because I have talent. It's not going to give me a check, though. Anyway, they moved over. My throat, my voice don't even want to talk about Miss Jackson, girl, because I had already gave Miss Jackson my piece of my mind, so I'm not going to give her too much. But I'm going to tell y'all what the Queen said. They brought her up on charges of being hypnotized by a no-good nigga. And what I did not care for, I know that Madison is a former porn star, and I know that Kaya makes nasty music, but that skit they did. They did a skit where, because there's rumor and there's word that Nelly is in clubs ejaculating on women. So they did a skit where Kaya was supposed to be Nelly, and Madison was supposed to be one of the women, and they had some silly string, and the silly string was supposed to be the ejaculate. I did not care for that. I didn't care for that. It did not have to be done. Well, girl, if you would have come on, I could have went on. I'm like, okay, we can make a couple jokes here and there, but that skit, I wasn't living for that. I wasn't living for it. They said they're going to register Nelly as a sex offender. I almost think they should. I'm just right there on the thinking that they should. Because y'all know I canceled Nelly. Stay in your lane, niece. Y'all know I canceled Nelly when he was over there twirling them little girl's hair. I said, oh, we won't be doing Nelly any longer. They're going to do a mental evaluation of Miss Jackson. Because they agree, like I said before, that, girl, what is you doing sitting in there watching your man with all these women's? That didn't make... Girl. They sentenced Nelly to Sex Anonymous. Well, they said Sex AA, so I guess Sex Alcohol Anonymous. And they've asked him to stop jacking off at the club and to write a new hit. But Nelly can write a new hit. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not. I don't know what that says as far as his sales. I don't know if y'all are going to do Nelly like y'all been doing his grandfather, R. Kelly. But I'm not going to buy it. Next up is Flav. He's brought up on charges of being too old to be getting monkey stomped. And they showed the video of Flav getting beat up. He talked about somebody's mama. I told y'all all that in my rambling report like last week. And basically they just put a warrant out for the light-skinned nigga that was beating up Flav. Delicious. She's brought up on plastic surgery charges. They called her T.S. Delicious, or Kaya called her T.S. Delicious, and she made some remarks that I don't agree with as far as the trans community. But I'm going to leave them in Kaya's mouth and her spirit, and I'm not going to bring them over here because I wasn't rocking with that. But all in all, Delicious has completely and totally rearranged her face and her body, and the girls are shook about it. I mean, she just doing the same thing the Kardashians are doing, the same thing Lil' Kim was doing well before the Kardashians, the same thing that everybody in Hollywood that has a hard time being Gladys Knight graceful is doing. Like, that's just what they're doing out there. So, I mean, I think Delicious, I hate to say I think she looks better, but I think she does look a little bit better body-wise, but she had an okay face, but with a little meat on her bones and a little hip on her hip, I think she looks a little bit better. Let's see. Neo. Girl, I can't even be bothered with Neo. I didn't even know him and his wife was pregnant, but let me tell you, I don't understand. I don't understand how that works. I don't get how Neo and a woman would work. That doesn't come together for me. But he's been brought up on charges of improper procreation and euthanizing his ex-wife's uterus. Neo, how are you gay and you still a dog towards women? That don't make sense. That don't make sense. You gay and you still being a dog towards women? Why would you? It just don't come together for me. It does not come together for me. And I know people who know Neo personally. So I can say without a shadow of a doubt, without any question, I don't like that nigga. I can say it. Because the things that I've heard from the people that grew up with Neo, I don't need it. I don't need that in my life. I don't need that. I don't understand. Because he made his ex-wife get her tubes tied and burned. So she wouldn't have any more children. But then he got with his next wife. And I believe she already has one of his children is having another one. Does he have like a 2-child maximum per woman rule? Is he finna make her tie her tubes after she has this little boy, or what? Well, I hate to say that that's what I want him to do, so that it would make sense why he would make this other woman have her tubes tied. I would hate to say that I want him to go ahead and make this particular woman have her tubes tied as well, just to. It would make me feel better if after 2 children he says, okay, well, that's enough. It's still nasty. It's still awful. It still don't make no sense. But it would make me feel a little bit better if that was something that he did with his wives, rather than just this one particular woman. Girl. Moving on, Sheryl Underwood has been charged for asking Monique to take less money and asking her to apologize. I've asked her to do the same thing, so I guess I'm up on these charges too. And then there's a Skype call that came in, and it was from Monique/Mary from Precious. And it was funny. I cackled. When she went from, hey, Sheryl Underwood to going into the Mary thing, it caught me off guard, and I cackled. But the thing about Precious, and why I don't watch Precious, aside from the fact that that's a movie that you only watch once. It really is. You don't have to go back and relive Precious. There are some people that do. I'm not one of those people. But after seeing Precious for many, many years, I heard Monique's voice echoing in my head, or Mary's voice echoing in my head with that, don't nobody want you, don't nobody need you. It would just pop up out of nowhere. And I'm not one that has low self-esteem, but if you keep hearing Mary in your head giving you that, it's like, oh, this is not, maybe don't nobody want me and don't nobody need me. So that thing, I'm glad that I'm at a place now where I know how to turn off my brain, or I can turn it down at least. But Mary worked me, honey. She worked my nerves. Moving on. Erykah Badu was brought up on that Hitler comment. I understood what she was trying to say. Nevertheless, Hitler is one that we just don't bring up. We don't talk about her. We keep her right on over there with Ava Braun in that cave dead, or wherever they was, on the underground. We don't bring her up. We don't dig her up. We let her be. So I get what Erykah was saying. I see it, but you should use a different example, honey. Use a whole nother example. You could have said Judas. I see the good in Judas. There ain't too many people super sensitive about Judas any longer. Because that's been a couple thousand years. But Hitler was the other day. So let's don't do Hitler, don't do Saddam, don't do Osama, don't do that. Don't you do that. And she's been sentenced to call Andre 3000, and they both need to put out a record. And honestly, I agree. They need to put out an individual record apiece, and then I want to join the album. Because all the songs that I've heard with them two on it, and the music videos and Karen, I enjoy. So let me have that. Anyway, Too Short is brought up on rape allegations. I saw that, and I said somebody must have blew the whistle. Somebody must have blown the whistle. I love Too Short's music. I love Mystikal's music. I don't care for R. Kelly's music, but I love their music. But I've had to put down Too Short. I mean, I hadn't listened to Too Short in a little while, but I had to put down Mystikal because I listen to Mystikal regularly. Am I going to have to put down Too Short? We will watch and find out. Because I do enjoy Too Short and his records. I used to kind of like a Nelly song every now and then. But I've had to put down Nelly. So it's just, I'm just on watch. I'm keeping an eye on who must be put down. Let me see. Kim Kardashian charged with taking all these naked photos, and she got 20 years in the hold. I'm not going to dwell on Kim Kardashian because that's not who I came here on this earth to be, is somebody who dwells on a Kardashian. We moved on to Wendy, Wendell, Bartholomew, Orenthal, Rufus, Clyde, Theodis, Pookie, Earl, Lee, Samuel, Ellington, Williams. He is charged, they, honey, because we don't know for sure. They are charged with harboring, aiding, and abetting R. Kelly and taking up for him. I didn't hear what she said, and I don't want to hear what she said. But what I don't have time for is Wendy Williams. This is why God made her fall out on TV. Wendy Williams keeps coming at us with her thoughts and feelings on rape accusers. She don't like rape accusers. She does not like people who accuse these men apparently of rape. She's made that abundantly clear. She don't like them. She don't like them. So she says every time somebody accuses somebody of rape, she comes out and says something stupid, but then she falls back on, once upon a time there was a girl named Wendy. And I don't have time, Wendy, for you to be pulling the I also was sexually assaulted card after you say all this crap about, girl, no one has time. Not me. Jennifer Screamer for Hudson wants Unga Tunga Zunga to get a job. I also want him to get a job, girl, because you went from Flavor of Love to wrestling and being a lawyer to now you an actor. You was on the haves and the have-nots. Girl, who has the time? You too old to be finding yourself. All right, gotta keep your eyes peeled because you don't never know what's going on in these streets. Dude is too old to be finding himself. It just don't make sense. So Madison sentenced him to 2 years at Burger King, and Kaya sentenced him to 2 years at a daycare. So he's gonna have daycares in the day, and then when he gets off from there at night, he's going to go over to Burger King. This is another story very similar to Neo. Tyler Perry, a.k.a. Madea. There's a woman claiming that she's married to Tyler Perry and shares a child with him. I also heard that there's another woman claiming to have a child that's about 3 years old that he's never seen. And on top of that, Tyler Perry and his girlfriend, quote unquote, from the other couple years ago, also have a baby. You're telling me that Tylisha and Perry, and y'all know I like Tyler Perry. I watch his things and carry on and critique them and be mad about him and tell him to call me all the time so I can help him write these things. But baby mamas and things, you think that's okay? They said Madea she carried the baby. She was a surrogate, so they want a swab test for Madea. Caitlyn Jenner is being charged with running over them people. It's an $8,000 fine. Kaya says she wanted Caitlyn and Bruce to both pay $800,000 apiece. Fetty Wap is being charged with being a one-eyed nigga impregnating dog hoes. And that was it. And then it went off. Monique called back and it went off. So I got to go to work. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things the YouTubers say. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.